No Chill Sports is an unapologetic, high-energy sports show where opinions fly fast and facts hit hard. The views and opinions expressed on this program are solely those of the hosts and guests, and do not necessarily reflect those of any affiliated networks, sponsors, or partners. Content may include passionate debates, bold predictions, and unfiltered takes that some viewers may find intense or controversial. Listener discretion is advised. If you're looking for chill, this ain't the place.
Hey, welcome back to the Rant with Pough Ant, where the mics stay hot, the takes are bold, and the truth is unfiltered. No scripts, just two voices bringing the heat with heart, real, raw, and unapologetically honest. I am your host with the most, Pough Ant, and this is the illustrious sports genius himself, the man with all the championships under his belt last week, Mr. Media, Mr. Promo, everything, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to Washington and Haynesville, our man, Mr. Ant Petty Murphy.
What's good, man?
Yeah. We had to do a little special one, man. You got a lot of, you know what I'm saying? I know you may not necessarily get hardware, but you got a lot of hardware on your belt now.
Right. Shout out to Haynesville, Golden Tornado. It was fun calling their games, and even more fun to call them winning the state championship. And shout out to O Block, baby.
Washington pulling off
Bro.
an excellent run, bro. Excellent run, Louisiana State Championship. Tell me again what I know they are all on the road, but they beat the who? Which ones?
All right, so a little bit of history. They're the first team in Louisiana to ever finish 5th in district and win a state championship. And they had the second hardest run of any state champion ever. They beat number 1, number 2, number 3, number 6, all on the road or neutral site. And the only team that have a harder road was 2010 Acadiana, and they were a 20-some seed, but they had to forfeit 3 games that year.
Mm-hmm.
They really were like a top 10 team, so a little bit different than comparing it to what Washington did. But yeah, either way, heck of a run by them boys.
Yeah. But congratulations to them. Amazing. I actually, it's funny. I watched more of the Louisiana championship games than the Alabama championship games. I think I maybe watched 1 or 2 of the Alabama games. But yeah, that was it was very entertaining and see all those kids get a chance to play in the dome. Just a warning, myself and our wonderful guests are battling some weather here in the Tennessee Valley area, so and you might have to hold it down for a minute if power go out. I just want to give you a warning now. If the lights get to flickering, so but man, we got a good one, man. We got I'm excited, man. We got playoffs to talk about. We can talk about some of these. I know we've got some bowls that have already happened. We got some other bowl games. Man, it's let's go ahead and get to it, man. Before we get started, let's go ahead and give a shout out to our sponsors over at Kelly Creations and W. We'll be back in 2 minutes. Your brand deserves more than basic. It deserves bold. It deserves clean. It deserves Kelly Creations. From screen prints that pop, to embroidery that speaks volumes, to picture tees that tell your story, Donald D.K. Kelly does it all. Give him a call today at 225-202-2625 or shoot him an email at kellycreations225@gmail.com. That's KELLYKREATIONS 225@gmail.com. And don't forget to tell them No Chill Sports sent you. Kelly Creations. Nobody does it better. W is a powdered energy drink aimed at gamers and individuals seeking focus and energy. It's known for its clean ingredients, no jitters, and various flavors. W is also available in a hydration formula for those needing electrolyte. W achieves its smooth, effective focus with a high-end tasting experience while using no sugars, no fillers, no artificial colors or dyes. Try W today by scanning the QR code you see on the screen or visit them on the website at bit.ly/no-chill-W. W, your taste buds' favorite energy drink. Hey, welcome in our special guest. I think this is the first time we've had him on No Chill, man. We had him on when we was Golden Boot, but you see all the money around him because that's what he helps people make every day with his wonderful picks, his statistics, his analysis, and his breakdowns. Our good friend, Mr. Allan Bell from Driving the Line. AB, thanks for joining us.
Gentlemen, I appreciate you having me, man. We doing all right?
Doing excellent, excellent.
Hey, I was going to say this. Hey, I appreciate that, but hey, let's give it to the man right here. Shout out to Hayesville, 5th in the district in one state. I know that run, like you were talking about, that had to be hard, dude. Like, literally got to knock off every giant in that run. So well done.
To make it
muted. Oh, there you go.
To make it a little sweeter. Round 1, Washita played they played Saint Amant. Saint Amant knocked them out the playoffs 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Round 2, they beat Destrehan, who beat them in the playoffs last year. Third round, they beat Parkway, who they scrimmaged first week of the season and had a little altercation after the
I was gonna say,
yeah. And then semifinals, they beat a crosstown district rival. And in the state championship, they beat the district champ. So they beat two of their district rivals on the way, and everybody else they had history with. So they called it the revenge tour, and they literally.
I was gonna say that literally is like you're not only on a title run, revenge tour too. Like, I mean, everything all coming together. That's awesome, man. That's good to see.
Yeah. Our good man Believe in Knicks says with the O Block hat.
Yes, sir.
Tyler said he thought that was an OU hat for a minute. He was getting nervous.
Yeah.
And Tyler also says that's probably the toughest district in the state.
Is it that one? Is it that one or the one with Carr, John Curtis, and all the Catholic schools in New Orleans? They got the Catholic League down in New Orleans, and up here, North Louisiana, we got the Baptist League. You heard me?
Yeah. Checks out. Yeah.
Man. AB, glad to have you back. College football in itself, has been so fun this season.
Yeah.
I think it's the parody. I love seeing all the little guys, saying take their revenge and take strike. But what say you about this college football season?
Yeah. So, all right. I think first, like we need to ask ourselves a question, and it's the same thing that like comes up in March Madness in college basketball, right? Like you've got the tournament and you got parity and everybody's got a shot, right? Like we all going into it. And truly you do. But inevitable, it's always chalk in the Final Four, right? Like it's always Duke, like it always is. It always works itself out. Now, one way or the other, I like parity too. You know what I mean? Like I like when you know, you don't want to say like, hey, everybody gets a shot, but for real, like when you know the chips are evened up a little bit, because in college football, it's definitely not the NFL where everything's the same.
Right.
It's not that one bit. You know what I mean? So I like it. I'm with you, man.
Yeah. Let me ask this before we actually dive too deep into college football. What is your favorite sport to bet?
Me, college baseball, no doubt.
Okay.
I love it. Hey, and we riding on LSU again. What are we doing, man? Y'all just, so anybody doesn't know, I'm in Nashville, Tennessee. I'm a Tennessee guy. Look, LSU just took our best pitcher in recruiting. Hey, and we can't be having it. But now college baseball. But man, college football's gotten tough. Like college football is the most fun, but it's so hard now, man. Like, yeah.
So, AB, you in Nashville. Pavia taking over the city like he's taking over college football.
Yeah. Like, so so understand the like not economics, but like the breakdown of Tennessee, the state. You've got 99.99% are Tennessee fans, right? And then you've got like this little sliver of Vanderbilt right in the middle in Nashville. But Vanderbilt's got all the money. If Vanderbilt ever wakes up and decides we're just going to buy championships, all of us are in trouble. I don't care who we hire because they've got more money than everybody. You know what I mean? But Pavia, like what I'm getting at is like Tennessee fans are all over it, like not liking them. And it makes me laugh because I'm like, oh, he's catching a nerve. And when he went into Knoxville and got the win and then stamped it at the end, it was like, oh man. Like what is the outside perspective on Pavia? Like, how do y'all feel about it? Like, honestly, because you know, I don't have like a super strong like one way or the other. He's fun, you know what I mean? But he's interesting too, you know. Like, how do y'all see it from outside Tennessee?
He was fun outside of that one weekend.
He was getting down.
So to me, it started off like a cool little story. You know, it was cool to see guy with swag playing at Vanderbilt. You know what I mean? Then it got a little bit too much.
Yeah.
And I think the Heisman weekend kind of was the cherry on top for that. Like, you know, F you to the voters, and then the bottle service with F Indiana and all that kind of, you know what I mean? Like, I think he crossed the line somewhere, and it got to the point where it went from, okay, that's cool, you know, to this guy's a little obnoxious. And I think his brother and the way they act or whatever doesn't help his case either, you know, getting arrested for intoxication and all that kind of stuff. To me, it's almost like the Diaz brothers of UFC.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like,
no, I'm with you. Like,
they started off as like, oh, they the cool dudes. You know what I mean? They smoke they weed. They do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Then it got to the point when people got tired of their shit. You know, and that's kind of where I'm at with it.
Yeah, like, people you get tired of seeing it. You know what I mean? Like you get tired of hearing it, and it's like, all right, man. You know, and then like it's an interesting thing here too when it's like you look up like Clark Lee is a very buttoned up individual at Vanderbilt, and I know like he didn't say nothing, but I know as a coach he's looking up saying, look what I'm doing at Vanderbilt, and nothing against anybody, but like Johnny Manziel and Theo Vaughn and everybody's running around. It's like we ain't focused on football anymore. Now we focus on celebrity. You know what I mean? Like,
well my question is,
even though we won, but still,
they're academic. You know what I mean? They're academic over athletic. At what point does the university be like, you need to tone it down because you still representing us, and we don't want to be associated with that type of stuff?
Yeah. And Vanderbilt's absolutely that university too. Like,
Oh, yeah.
no, not kidding. Like economically, people will say country music, runs Nashville. No, Vanderbilt Medical runs Nashville. Like that's a private university it's a private university that's 100,000 plus, and they get SEC money. Best of both worlds. They're smart. These dudes are smart, man. Like, so yeah, like you're saying, I get like they probably looked at it like, well, he's gone, so it's like not really our problem. But if he were coming back, oh yeah, there would be a serious course correction, no doubt, no doubt.
Yeah. I think his mom reached Taylor Swift status as well. Not in the sense of, oh, she's this world famous person, but the fact that they showed her so much during every game that it got to a point was like, all right, I'm done, But Vanderbilt, you talk about Vanderbilt, even with what we saw out of Indiana last year, to see them do what they did this year is remarkable to me, because they didn't just so if you go back and actually look at the stats for Kurt Signetti, since he's come into FBS as a coach, he's lost 3 games one time. That was the first year with James Madison. He has lost 2 games, and that is it at the most. Also, if you go back and look at when he was D2 at FCS, same thing. I think he had 1 year, he's like had 4 losses or something like that. But he is literally, if his record is phenomenal.
Yeah.
Last year he had 2 losses total, and those 2 losses were to the national champion and the runner-up.
Good point. And look at what he's done now. He's like, Ohio State, I got you this time. You know what I mean? Yeah. And is another question, like, and we'll talk about it, like, but like Ohio State, how are we feeling about that? Like, you know what I mean? Indiana, Signetti, and like you're saying, man, like it reminds you, like, you remember when we all looked up at Urban Meyer at Utah and we were like, oh, like this. Oh, he just waxed Alabama like in that bowl game, which, whatever. But it's like, all right, is this going to work at Florida? And it just picked right back up. Like exactly where he was at Utah, just picked right back up, except with like Percy Harvin. And you're like, oh my God, like this is going to be a problem. You know what I mean? It feels like that. Like this dude knows ball. Like he knows recruiting. He knows like kids, like the mindset, and he really knows football. Like, this ain't no hype bull. Like, he knows football. You know what I mean? Like, those Indiana teams are physical too. That defense, like, I'm not saying that, like, you know what I mean? It's 0-1 Miami, like, but like Indiana plays ball, man. Like, I'm proud to see it, man. Especially somebody who's done it at non-conventional, traditional spots, and just that's when you know it's very for real. Where you're like, oh, he's just replicating the same deal.
Yeah.
That's when you know very good football coach. Yeah.
Then I mean, you talking about Vanderbilt being 10-2, runner-up Heisman on their team, Indiana being undefeated with the Heisman Trophy winner. Like, you talk about parity in college football. I think that's the best example you can give is these untraditional programs. Indiana, the most losing program in college football, being the best team in the country. I mean, that screams parity if nothing else does.
It does. It does. It is good for the league, and it's good for ratings. You know what I mean? Like that CBS move of like going from SEC to the Big Ten. You never want to leave the SEC, but they were smart to look at the Big Ten and say they about to start printing some money too. Like they're starting to figure it out. And yeah, no doubt, man, no doubt. Yeah.
Shout out to Kev with the super chat, but he asked thoughts on Muschamp to Texas.
Man, I'll tell you this. There for a second, I thought Muschamp might go to Tennessee as a defensive coordinator there for a second. You know what I mean? Like I was looking at it, and then it's like I don't think it's gonna happen. All right, I'll throw it to y'all because everybody wants to hear y'all's answer, but like. Muschamp been around the game for a minute, and the question is always going to be a quarterback with Texas right now. But I mean, Muschamp can coach D, and it's Texas. You know what I mean? He's going to get 5-star dudes everywhere. But y'all go ahead. Yeah, I'd love to hear it. Yeah.
So mine is easy, and random, because my thought was they weren't bad on defense. So
yeah, it was the offense.
Why is this happening? You know, but it makes me wonder what's the reason behind this. We were in Spaces before this, and I'm really wondering if something happened that is drawing away this, like it's something off field could possibly be,
you see Ohio,
yeah, because and that's what with I'm not saying he did Sharon Moore, but with Sharon Moore situation, Ohio situation, and it's kind of like it's something else happening that's driving this.
So I don't understand why they get rid of PK. I think the defense was fine. You look at Ohio State, and up until last Saturday, nobody had made them look like that offensively, except Texas week 1.
Yeah.
I don't think you can really say defense was the reason they lost any of their games this year. You look at what he was doing with Colin Simmons and Ant Hill and that secondary. I thought he was doing a fine job. So I'm kind of with you. The reasoning and the timing seems weird to me also. It seems like a little late in the cycle to fire somebody. And you fired him and announced Muschamp at the same time, pretty much. So like you already was going after Muschamp. You already knew what you was doing. I don't think there's a connection between Sark and Muschamp, but I guess he thought highly enough of him to basically hire him on the spot, essentially, in my opinion. Because if you fire and hire the same day, how much of a search did you really do for his replacement? So it makes me feel like he knew who his guy was, who he wanted to go get, and he made the move to make it happen. So because their defense wasn't the problem, and you knew who you wanted and went and got him and fired a dude who wasn't doing a bad job to do that, Texas defense better play lights out. They better not have one game where they lose because of their defense, or this move don't make any sense to me.
Yeah. Our man Chris, Big Hackley, sends us a super chat, and then he asked the question. Almost hit the wrong button. He says, who should we go after at QB? The best quarterback in the portal. Whoever Lane wants.
In Lane we trust. But I'll give an answer. Of the people who have announced that they would be entering the portal, give me Sam Levitt.
I like it. I honestly, I was a little bit against Sam Levitt, but I think with what we've seen Lane do with the bevy of quarterbacks we've seen him do it, I'm good with Levitt. I think Levitt will be phenomenal.
He feels artist to me.
Josh,
what you got, AB?
Well, what I was gonna say was this, man. Like, talk about Lane Kiffin. Lane Kiffin with quarterbacks is fantastic. I saw this dude take Jonathan Crompton at Tennessee and turned him into a draft pick. Turned him into an NFL.
Forgot about that.
Yeah, and Jonathan Crompton, remember, 5-star, had all of it, and got to couldn't throw, nothing. And then it was like Lane was the one that figured it out. Was like, yeah, dummies, what were y'all doing around here? You know what I mean? Like, figured it out immediately. Now, I'm so like, has the full coaching staff been like assembled at LSU? Yeah, that was
a few holes.
Part.
Yeah, it's a few holes that are still open. You've got a defensive line coach that you're trying to fill. officially a running back coach, and what else is that? Wide receiver coach, or did we got the guy wide receiver coach?
Got 2 wide receiver coaches.
Yeah.
I was waiting on this D line and running back.
Okay, yeah, so I think everything else is finished. Let me ask you this, AB, before we actually get to the college football playoffs.
Yeah,
you're a Tennessee fan. Lane was there for the 1 year and bolted, and a lot of people give him grief about that. And honestly, it feels like a lot of people at like he's become like the college football villain, and they always point to he left Tennessee.
yeah.
I mean, as a how do you feel about, like, you know, saying that?
Yeah,
not necessarily that situation, but the whole Lane.
Oh, I'll give you the full. Yeah, I'll give you the whole rundown. Like, so with Lane, like, you know why everybody was upset? Because they didn't want him to leave. Everybody likes Lane. And I'll say this, man, in Knoxville, Lane's loved. Like, for real. It hurt at the time because everybody loved Lane and Ed Orgeron too, and keep going down the list. You know what I mean? And Frank Wilson, like, keep going. But it also, Lane was going home to SC at that time. So it was like, I remember even at that moment, I was like, I can't blame him. Yeah, and it was in the conversation that it was going to happen. It was like, if he were a Tennessee guy and we're at USC, I'd be the first one saying, well, come on, babe. Time to come home. You know what I mean? Like, I'd be saying the same thing. You know what I mean? So I've always liked Lane. And him being the villain, I don't know about that, but so be it. You know what I mean? Like, you got to go out and knock some heads around. He's going to do that. And Lane's coming out super motivated. I'm excited for this, man. Like, this LSU run is going to be, it's going to be a fun and a long run too. Cause LSU's getting Lane at the perfect time. Like, retirement Lane. You know what I mean?
Settle down, Lane.
15 years, Lane. Lane just got his, like, and I say this, like, honestly, when Lane was in Knoxville, his family life was going to hell, all kinds of stuff. And, like, obviously you don't talk about it, but he's gotten that back, and, like, happy for him, man. Like, he's got everything in life, like, lining up perfectly at the right time. Happy for him. He's gone through hell, and I'm happy for the guy, honestly.
Yeah. Man, appreciate Tony for the super chat. Said just supporting my dogs. So definitely appreciate it,
bro.
All right. Let's talk about some of these college football matchups. And then me and Ant actually did brackets.
Nice.
So we'll get to those. But some of the matchups that we've got, of course, tomorrow starts it all off. You've got Alabama taking on Oklahoma in a rematch. Alabama has not beaten Oklahoma since what's his name took over? DeBoer took over.
Yeah.
7 p.m. ABC Friday night. I'm gonna give the over-under. The over-under is 40.5. And this is Oklahoma's actually flipped it open at Alabama's a 1.5 point favorite. Now Oklahoma is a 1.5 point favorite.
Jump the fence on us, man. I'll say this. Everything that you just said, if I was Oklahoma, I don't know if I want to play Alabama again, man. Like, I just don't want to do it. And again, dude, we call him Moneyline Mateer for a reason. The dude is a stud. He's got heart. And this whole Oklahoma team does, man. From the coaching staff down, right? Venables and all of them. But here's the deal. Oklahoma and Alabama both got time to get healthy on the offensive line. And I think that helps out. It's going to help both teams, but I think it's going to help out Alabama more. Because Ty Simpson can't deal it, man. And when they're rolling, Bama's I saw it firsthand. And boys rolled us up quick. You know what I mean? So when they get going, they get going. I like the over in this game, too. If you don't want to pick a winner, like just talking to bettors, both offensive lines are healthy. Oklahoma's had 3 weeks to sit and chill. You know what I mean? So I think you're going to get points here. But I'll have to roll Alabama, especially in an underdog role. Man, give it to them. What do y'all think?
Well, to go back to how we started the show, it's the same thing I was saying about Washington on this playoff run. It's hard to beat a good team twice, in the same season. And I know Oklahoma has beaten them last year and this year, but I think doing it twice in the same season is going to be difficult. The chip on Alabama's shoulder is pretty big right now. And there's not too many times where Alabama is the underdog. And people are expecting Alabama to be the one to lose. So I think that they rally around that and find a way to win this game. I think it's going to be an extremely ugly game. Because Oklahoma's defense is so good, I think Alabama has troubles, just consistently firing on all cylinders on offense. I think they have to fight and claw for points. But I think the Oklahoma offense is so I don't know what they are right now, bro. They can't really run the ball and they don't really have the weapons for Mateer to just drop back and beat you with his arm like Ty Simpson can on the other side. So I think they try to muck it up. I think they try to make this an ugly game. But what's the over under?
41 and a half. Oh, 40 and a half. Sorry.
Yeah, I think it go over, but barely over. I'm thinking like 23-21 type, 24-21 type game, something like that. But it's gonna be ugly.
Yeah. I think these two teams are a lot more similar than they are not, as far as is Alabama. I think has a really good offense outside of the fact they can't run. Oklahoma has a really good defense, despite the fact that their offense puts them in bad positions.
Yeah.
I as good. I came into the season saying I don't think Ty Simpson would be as good, and he's completely shocked me. And I guess I got it wrong because he wasn't the guy that was going to be bad for this offense. It was going to be pretty much everybody else around him. They can't that lack of being able to run the ball is killing them.
Mm-hmm. It's weird to see. Like, it's odd. You're like, I don't remember. It'd be like watching a Georgia team. Be like, Georgia can't run the ball. What the heck is this?
It's what we've seen at LSU for the last few years. So
it's not just
in there.
They don't try to run it either.
Yeah, and if Jam, so the irony of it, they don't even need Jam Miller to get 100 yards rushing or anything like that. If he gets 30, 40 yards, just the fact that he's a threat to run and he can provide some semblance of a running game for them, they've won games this season. They have literally lost games or been in some close ones that they should not have been in, all because of their lack of run game.
Can't run it, can't protect it.
Yeah. I don't. And AB, one of the biggest things I do all the time. If I don't trust a total, I'm teasing all the way. With that said, I would happily tease this one and tease that. I would tease that either the total up or down and play it that way, or even and take the Alabama in the points, because I don't trust it.
Yeah. It feels like, honestly, like what you just said, it feels like a game where you could tease Alabama to like 6.5 plus 6.5, and you could tease Oklahoma to plus 6.5. If you just figure out the teaser on the over, the under, you could get both teams to cover in that, because it could be, you know what I mean, like a 2.3-point win.
Ironically, I feel this is a game where you could tease it and you can play all four spots and hit in between.
Yeah, just middle all of it.
Middle all of it.
You really could. Yeah, like 23-20, like you said. Like, Dude, that's a prime zone right there, no doubt.
Yeah, I just don't. I don't know. I I would love to pick Alabama in this game. Just because, like you said, it's hard to beat a team twice. I just don't. I haven't been able to trust Alabama this season. I don't. I have one rule. I don't bet Alabama because as soon as you bet Alabama,
they screw
they
you
find
over.
they find a way to. They'll win the game and don't cover.
Yes.
The spread will be 13 and they'll win by 12.
Dude, they do it. You're right. They do that. Yeah.
But yeah, I honestly think that I got Oklahoma in this one. I think I got Oklahoma in this one. And
it's gonna be a tight game.
Yeah,
Like I think
it is.
I think it's gonna be the best game of the first round, and we're getting it on Friday by itself. Like, yeah.
Actually, I don't think it's going to be the best game of the first round.
You going Miami?
Miami, Texas. Yeah, Miami, Texas A&M, number 10, Miami. Yeah, and then the Texas A&M. This game, you've got over under is 51.5 with Texas A&M favored by 3.5.
All right. What Miami are we getting? What Carson Beck are we getting? Because Beck could come out and deal. And A&M A&M's got a lot of that Tennessee where like we could be loud and then shut up in like 5 minutes and the other team's up 21-0. We're already handing the sticks over, right? Like that could absolutely happen. But man, like I throw it to y'all. Like that's the question for me is what Beck do we get? If you're gonna give me A&M at 3.5, I'll take A&M. But yeah, Beck, that's the wild card for me.
Yeah, so I think they're two kind of evenly matched teams. Well, I think the quarterback is the wild card for both teams. How well does the quarterback play determines how high of a ceiling that team has. But in this particular game, I think the X factor is Kyle Field. Miami hasn't played in a crowd bigger than like 70,000 all year. It's gonna be 110 about in Kyle Field this weekend.
It's huge.
And I mean they got a home playoff game. They're gonna be insane down there. And so how well do they handle that environment? I think plays a factor. And for A&M, can you manage your emotions being that you're in this environment? You are doing something that your team, your school has never really done before, have an opportunity to play for a championship. Can you manage your emotion and compose yourself enough to go handle business? Because I think if you can run the ball, if you're A&M and don't have to rely on Marcel Reed to win you the game, then I think you can cruise in this game and win by a touchdown or more, but if Miami can stop A&M's running game and Marcel has to drop back 30 plus times and to win the game, I think that's a recipe for Miami to hang around and possibly win.
Yeah. If I'm not mistaken, I have to go back and look. I think the over hit in every playoff game last year.
Did it really?
If you look at the scores, I think nobody scored less than 20 in every game. Even SMU got blown out. Actually, let me pull that up before.
So okay, while you're pulling that up, I was gonna say it was popping in my head, and when you were talking of like last year in the first round, the teams that hosted all I believe smoked it. Like it was 21-0 Ohio State on Tennessee before like we even had a drink open. You know what I mean? And I think all those games were like that. But then in the next round, the teams that played in the first round, they played road games, but I think they went on the road and smoked the teams that had sat for a month. I think that's how it went down. I'm not sure, but
yeah, you're right. But and part of that is like Ohio State shouldn't have been playing Tennessee. Like the Arizona State Boise bye was terrible.
that's right. Yeah.
And so they had teams like Penn State playing when they probably would have been at home on the bye as the top 4 seed. So this year, in theory, you should have better games because you don't have top 4 teams playing teams that just got into the playoff
That's
as
a
an
great point.
Yeah. So I'm looking at the scores now, and I'm going to assume that the over under for just about every game was 40. With that being said, there's only one game that wouldn't have hit that over under if I set it at an average of 40, and that's Notre Dame, Georgia, and that was 23-10. Everybody else was even the SMU got beat by 28, but Penn State scored 38 points.
Yeah.
I think this game, this Miami Texas A&M game, I like Texas A&M. I don't think they'll cover the 3.5. I think they win by 3 or something close to it.
Another
So
teaser.
last year,
Yeah, but I would say I would definitely take money line in the over.
Yeah.
it was Indiana Notre Dame last year was 50.
Mm-hmm.
Penn State SMU was 53.
Okay, I see. Yeah, they would have. Yeah,
And remember that Indiana Notre Dame game was in like the super cold too, and they still put up 50 something. Yeah.
It was it was 44 is the what's called, but the over under was 50.
Yeah.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, gotcha. Yeah.
Clemson, Texas over under was 51.5.
They
And
covered that.
Tennessee, Ohio State was 47.
Yeah, they covered that. Ohio State covered that almost by themselves. So, yeah,
In the first half.
yeah. So it would have been 3 games that didn't hit the oval.
Yeah,
according to that. So, yeah, that is interesting. But yeah, like I said, I think that these defenses are going to be good. This might be the best offense that Texas A&M will play this year.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, I mean,
I
the
know
only game they lost was Texas, and they didn't lose to Texas's offense. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, at the time, I would say Notre Dame, but Notre Dame that early in the season was. I mean, they were putting up points, but I think it was they were still kind of finding themselves. I think this may be the best, but I still don't think that. I think this will definitely be easily the best defense that Miami will see.
Yeah,
and I think that's going to be the big difference in this one. Another one we got. Then you got the 2 games. You got Tulane and Ole Miss.
These are harder than the other 2. Like, keep going.
Yeah, Tulane and Ole Miss. Ole Miss, well, this over under of 56.5. Ole Miss is a 17.5 point favorite.
So let's do the math here. Let's think of our key numbers of how football is scored: 3s and 7s. So you said 56.5.
Mm-hmm.
So 7, 14, 21, 28, 35, 42, 49, 56. So they're going to make you eat the hook on that half. And then you said it was 17.5, right? 7, 14, 17, and a hook. So the books are they could juice you 2 ways. They could juice you on the actual price, like a normal bet, minus 110, minus 115, minus 200, or they could juice you with that hook. And they juice you with the hook here. They slide it in. Be very careful because you might not notice it, but that hook is dangerous. It's a difference of 2 touchdowns and a field goal. Now you need 3 touchdowns, right? Like, but okay. So Ole Miss and Tulane know each other. How much does I ask y'all? Y'all know way better than me. How much does that play into it? How much is Lane Kiffin worth from a betting perspective of not being there? How much is Pete Golding worth? Like, this is the hardest playoff game to bet I think I've ever seen, because what's throwing me off is that Tulane and Ole Miss know each other. Like, there's value in that. But I don't know how much value. You know what I mean? So I throw it to you. Like, give me, y'all know it way better than me. Like,
neither starting or neither head coach to start the season is well.
Yeah,
they're both going other places.
Yeah.
Tulane's head coach will be there. Summerall's going to coach this game. With Ole Miss, the entire staff is still there outside of Lane.
Yeah.
or at least on the offensive side. I think that's pretty much everybody.
It's hard. This game is hard, man. It's a big number.
I think the over is going to hit. These are a couple key things that I think are also not kind of mentioned in this game. We all know the lane's not there, but the first time they played, Retzlaff, the kid, I think is that what's is that? Yeah, Big Freaky from Tulane.
Yeah.
That was the fourth game of the season. Didn't really have that much of a rapport with the team. I think it's a lot different now.
Game 12 looks different than game 4, right?
Exactly. Also, the score in that game 45-10, so 55 points. That's where I think the over is going to hit.
Yeah. Okay, let me ask you this. What you tell me what you think the final score is of the game. And we'll tree branch it from that. Just final score. And it doesn't have to be exactly accurate, just a rough range of what you think.
Right. So this might sound like a cop-out. I actually got Tulane upsetting in this game.
I'm telling you. Like
but if for them to do it, I think it's going to take a lot of trickeration.
Yep.
It's going to take a lot of just they're going to have to play a perfect game and hope is for some distractions.
And you know what they need to do? You just got to hold on and use the clock as your ally, because every quarter that goes by for Pete Golding that he's not winning and winning big, his world's closing in fast and live for the world. Like Tulane needs to hold on, baby, and time of possession. Score, like you said, and then just let pressure do its thing. You know what I mean? It's dangerous. Sorry, keep going. Yeah.
I think we see overtime in this one. I'm gonna say 28. I'm gonna say 28-29 Tulane.
Which would be great for the over. If you get overtime, yeah.
Now listen, I gotta say this, and a lot of that is also I want to see the melt on Ole Miss side on the time. It's the petty in me. So
yeah, I feel you. As bad as I want you to be right, I think I'm gonna go with Ole Miss to win this one. But I think it's a shootout. I think a lot is being made about Lane not being there for Ole Miss's offense. Valid points. But I haven't heard anybody mention the fact that Pete Golding has to be a head coach now. And he can't just sit there and help focus and coach that defense up. So I think the Ole Miss defense takes a step back just as much as the offense takes a step back with Lane not being there. So I think Tulane is going to put up their share of points, but at the end of the day, I think Kejuan Lacey is just a little bit too much.
Yeah,
Tulane to handle, and whenever it's a close game in the fourth quarter, I think Tulane is going to have their hands full trying to stop Kejuan Lacey as they just force feed it to him down the field. So I'm going to say Tulane 38. No, I mean, I'm sorry. Ole Miss 38, Tulane 28.
I like it.
Nice over there. Yeah.
The last matchup, and I think this is I'm gonna say this. I think this is gonna be the surprise of the weekend. James Madison, Oregon. And when I say that, no, I'm not saying James Madison is going to win. However, I think James Madison puts on a really good fight and earns some respect. The over-under is 50.5. The Oregon is favored 20.5 points.
What time is that game?
That game is 6:30 on TNT/True TV.
6:30. What, like 6:30? Whose time?
Central Time, PM. So it's a 8. That'd be what 4:30 out there in Oregon.
Okay.
7:30 James Madison.
Yeah. That's I was wondering if it was gonna be like a
Yeah.
6
That
Oregon.
West Coast, East
You know
Coast
what I'm saying?
time. Yeah.
So, all right, let me ask you this on that game. So, if you're Dan Lanning going into it, game planning right now, well, obviously, been doing that, right? We're a little close to kickoff here for that. But James Madison has to run the football. If you are Oregon, you've got to be thinking, I could kind of end this team in the first half with points, because if I eliminate the run game from their playbook, they no longer have a playbook. You know what I mean? But can Oregon do that? Because you're going to get, like you were breaking down, you're going to get, it's like playing a service academy almost.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it has that feel to it. So that's the big thing for me, is that if Oregon can get up big, dude, you start chopping off legs of that playbook. You know what I mean? But yeah. But I thought like that, but it can also work the opposite way, because if you don't do that and James Madison's running it down your throat with a 3-point lead, pressure's on you, not on them. You know what I mean? Like that's also a real thing. So
yeah. You've got Bob Chesney is headed to UCLA, head coach of James Madison, and then you've also got Will Stein, offensive coordinator, heading to Kentucky. I think the defensive coordinator took a job somewhere else too, didn't he? Am I right about that?
Yeah, Taj Lupoy going to Cal.
So the head coach, offensive coordinator, and defensive coordinator all gone, and all going to 3 different places.
Well, Oregon's offensive coordinator.
Oh, sorry. Okay, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. But but I'm pretty sure on James Madison's side it's the same thing, because the head coach is leaving. I just hadn't. I don't keep up.
Yeah,
no.
That was my mistake. Yeah, keep going.
In a way, it's similar to the Tulane Ole Miss game, because Tulane coach leaving, James Madison coach leaving, and then on the other side for Ole Miss, obviously the whole offensive staff is going to be leaving, and for Oregon, the offensive coordinator and defensive coordinator are leaving. So it's kind of like a last hurrah for all 4 of those teams in a sense. But I think this is gonna be a blowout.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
I don't. No disrespect to James Madison, bro, but they haven't been on the field with anybody anywhere near the talent level that they about to see Saturday.
And Dan Lanning is an intense human being.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. And then Bob Chesney opening his mouth ain't necessarily the smartest thing to do when you about to go play Dan Lanning. We saw what happened whenever he, took
that's
a girl.
right. You're right. Yeah.
I mean, I think this gets like this game is the Ohio State Tennessee game of last year. It's over with before you even found out what channel is coming on. The game.
I remember literally watching that. My dad literally did that. Ohio State scored a 3rd touchdown. He just took the remote, just threw it. Said, we good.
By the time I figure out which app I'm supposed to be opening on my TV to watch the game, it's gonna be 14-0.
Oh man, I want it. I know that's gonna happen. I want this game to be closer. I want to see. Like I said, I just want to see.
I know why.
Is this the early game? Sorry.
I know why you want James Madison and Tulane both to either win or play real.
I just want the James Madison to be close. Yeah, you know.
You can tell all them people who said they shouldn't be here that they deserve to be here, because look what they did. I already know that's what he.
You know me well. You know me well. I think give me 3 quarters. At least give me 3 quarters, James Madison. Just play strong for 3 quarters.
And Mike can give you 3 minutes.
Yeah.
That's solid.
Oh man. All right. That's the game. Ant, you want to go ahead and show our brackets?
Yeah, we can.
Let's go ahead and show our brackets. So people what we think is going to happen throughout the. Hold on. Gotta add AB back.
Kick my man out.
There we go. Sorry about that, AB.
Hey, no, you good? Hey, the bracket's more. It was more important than me at the moment, right? You good? Yeah.
All right. So, Ant, this is your bracket. You got Georgia winning it all.
Yeah. So the first 4 games was pretty easy to pick in my opinion. A&M over Miami, Ole Miss over Tulane, Oregon over James Madison, and the Bama OU was the close one, but like I said, beating the team twice, I feel like it's really hard to do. So I gave the edge to Bama. The second round, I think the second round is where we see the absence of Lane Kiffin really be a problem for Ole Miss going up against Georgia. So I got Georgia winning that. A&M versus Ohio State. I think we saw with A&M when they play really good team like Texas and a good defense like Texas. We saw what happens. I think something similar happens. That Ohio State defense kind of shuts down A&M. Bama, Indiana. Never in a million years would I think I'd say this, but I think Indiana is just a more physical team than Alabama, and I think Alabama's lack of being able to run the ball is going to show up against that Indiana defense, and I think Indiana is multifaceted enough on offense to be able to put up enough points to beat Bama. Oregon, Texas Tech. So before I found out that Evan Stewart might be returning for Oregon, I made this pick. If I would have known Evan Stewart's coming back, I might would have changed it. But nonetheless, I'll stick with it. Texas Tech, I like their defense, man. And I think if you kind of force Dante Moore to be uncomfortable, he's a little less effective as pretty much any quarterback is. But I think they rely on him a lot. And going up against that defense with those 2 pass rushers and that linebacker who can get after the quarterback and cause havoc, I think they make him make enough mistakes to where they capitalize and win a close game over Oregon. Ohio State, Georgia. I mean, Ohio State scored what? 14 on Texas and what? 13 on Indiana?
Yeah. I think yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if they could win against Georgia only scoring 13, 14 points. I think it's going to be similar to what we saw Indiana versus Ohio State. So give me Georgia and a close one on that one. Texas Tech, Indiana. I think Indiana, once again, that physicality. I don't know if Texas Tech has played a team as physical as them. And I just think that Signetti is a better coach than McGuire, even though I think McGuire did a hell of a job this year. I think when the moment get big, I don't think Signetti gonna shy up in the spotlight. I think he just gonna be, cool as a cucumber. I give him the edge slightly, or Indiana the edge slightly over Texas Tech. And Georgia or Indiana, I think it's, like I said, similar to the Big Ten championship, but I think Georgia got enough firepower offensively to put up more points than Ohio State did on Indiana, and they can match the physicality up front. So I got Georgia winning 27-24 over Indiana.
I like it. It's respectable. Now let me go ahead and make everybody mad. Here's my bracket. I got a few things different in my first four. Of course, like I said, I'm taking Oklahoma. Of course, I got Oregon winning. I got Texas A&M like you, but I got Tulane with the upset over Ole Miss. That was more petty than anything, but hey, I don't think it mattered in the second round anyway. In that second round, I'm with you. You said Alabama. I got Oklahoma against Indiana. Either way, I don't think either one has. It's crazy, and like you said, it's crazy to say. I don't think they have the weaponry to battle with Indiana right now. Oregon versus Texas Tech. I think Texas Tech is just a better team all around, and I think that they might got a little bit of a chip on their shoulder. That the linebacker, especially, that kid was looking to get to the Heisman ceremony. They did everything they could, put him in on offense and all kinds of crazy stuff to try to get him there. And I think he's going to try to make a statement.
Hey, real quick, he should have been the Hispanic representation in New York
instead of the
midget.
Yeah,
instead of Poppy. On the other side, I've got Ohio State beating Texas A&M as well. In Georgia, of course, whether that was Ole Miss or Tulane, I think it's it's there too much. In that third round, I've got Indiana beating Texas Tech. It's hard to explain. I just think Indiana's. Obviously I got to win the championship, so I just think Indiana's just a better team. Georgia, Ohio State. I think that Georgia's got a lot more physicality than Ohio State. They'll play a little bit better of a game. I'm worried about wide receiver wise, Jeremiah Smith and Tate, because with Georgia to beat them, you've got to be able to take the top off. I think they can do that, but I also think that their defensive line can get to sand a little bit and make this make that one look a lot more interesting. And then I've got Indiana taking on Georgia in the national championship, and Indiana coming out on top, being a three-peat for the Big Ten. Third different team, and then the SEC will take their run. 26 and on. From 26 on, get ready. The SEC taking over. Georgia might change that and make it this year, but yeah.
I think Georgia is the only SEC team that can win.
Ooh. I honestly would have disagreed with you up until that Friday after Thanksgiving. Texas A&M played Texas, and they looked lost. They got punched in the mouth for the first time this year and did not know how to respond.
And especially, if you don't mind me saying, especially against that team. Yeah. It could have been anybody else, but you knew Tech, you're like, dude, they punked you again, man. You let them do it again. I'm with you on that one. That loss there to that team, it knocked me down a bit on them. I was like, oh, man. Oh,
yeah. It wasn't so much that they lost. Good teams lose. Yep. It's how they looked and lose. Yeah.
That's what I was about to say, Pooh. Because my other team before 2 weeks ago would have been Alabama. Mm-hmm. But the way they lost to Georgia in that SEC championship, it ain't that they lost. It was that they looked incompetent and that they didn't look like they belonged on the field with Georgia. That made me say, nah, they're not winning.
Yeah, it was unfortunately, it was like seeing the Miami Dolphins the other night in the cold weather. Couldn't play again. You're like, there it is, can't do it.
Yeah. So, oh man, I should have took Sam Darnold interception. He just threw a pick.
Did he? What's the score?
Yeah.
What's the score?
16-14 in the third with 6:34 left. Darnold just threw a pick and they ran it back to 3 or 4. But
Kyron time.
I hope so. They've been, oh my God, they've been force feeding what's his name?
Blake Corum.
Blake Corum. Yeah,
They love some Blake Corum, even though I dig it, man. Like he reminds me of Mike Hart so much. Then both are
yeah,
really good dudes. Yeah.
yeah. All right, man. So let me ask this. We know we talked about the playoff games. There's some other really good bowl games going on. Of course, we know LSU taking on Houston in NRG on the 27th. We got
What are we feeling?
Listen. I have not minced words about it at all. Everybody knows I've been saying. Oh, they gave the Blake Corum for the touchdown. I've been saying Houston by 30 since they announced the matchup. I think it's going to be a really good game, and it's interesting because this is literally the same matchup they'll have in 2027 to open the season. Houston, LSU in NRG. That makes it even funnier. And I know we'll probably talk more about this on Sunday, or whenever before we do the game, if we get a chance to. But your thoughts on that, or any other game that you got that's still left that might pique your interest?
My thoughts on the Texas Bowl is Houston by 2 touchdowns. But other than the playoff games, I don't really know too many that are like the Penn State Clemson. I guess that's like the biggest underachiever bowl for this season.
Yeah.
Like Georgia Tech, BYU, I guess maybe depending on who plays.
Yeah.
It really ain't.
There's really not that many good games. I'm with you. Like Iowa, Vanderbilt, maybe. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like
Texas, Michigan. Like it's because of the brands. And
hey, I'll tell you this. I'll tell you this real quick. If you're looking for a game where you just want to bet an over, just bet Tennessee and Illinois.
That's true. Yes.
Tennessee will not be. Tennessee didn't play defense when it mattered. They're absolutely not going to play defense in this one. But you will get Joey Aguilar.
Same with USC and TCU.
Yeah,
they're going to throw points in that one too.
If you find the games with starting quarterbacks that are playing, like Joey Aguilar, like this kind of it. You know what I mean? Like he's gonna play the whole game. So yeah, keep going. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I was gonna say I think a sneaky good game. Virginia versus Missouri.
Yeah,
it's a good pride game. Honestly, like let's finish this right. You know what I mean? Like
if you Virginia, how do you really feel about playing in that bowl game when if you would have beat Duke, you'd be playing in the playoffs? Like I don't know how up they are for that bowl game.
No.
Yeah, because that's a play for pride. But if I'm not mistaken, where are they now? They're 10-3. First chance to get 11 wins in how long?
I mean,
yeah, but then but that's all about if that's what they want. So I mean, I don't know.
What about Cal versus Hawaii? JKS going back to the islands.
I just want to see that. That'll be fun. I just want to see him play again. I just like watching him play. The kid that shook up the ACC.
Yeah, he's Tua if he would have been born left-handed.
Yeah, dude, Arizona SMU might be all right.
wait. 1 to 11. He wasn't born left.
His dad forced him to be left-handed.
You know something that Tua hadn't been the same. Yeah. Tua hadn't been the same since he went on game day and admitted, when I was younger and I used to throw interceptions, my dad used to whoop me. He hadn't been the same since then.
No.
Because everybody's like, wait.
He might have got whooped for saying that.
Yeah, I was like, he has not been the same since then. So, but that's interesting. Very interesting. I'm trying to see what other bowl game, but that's the one thing about bowl season that's kind of throws everything off is because teams, a lot of kids opt out or whatever. North Texas, said no, that's not. Well, I was gonna say North Texas, San Diego State, but then again, coaches, the quarterback's probably not gonna play. He's probably in the portal, so I don't know about that one.
Yeah, and especially after that that conference championship game where
Yeah. Well, I know a team who's not going to opt out. UConn is taking on Army.
That's a good point.
At Fenway, so
Army showing up.
Yeah, they'll show up. They too bad they ain't show up the second half against Navy, but
My bad.
Yeah,
I just didn't lose last weekend, bro. I'm sorry. I just didn't lose.
dude,
Like,
that was
a man on a heater.
Terrible. I was so mad. I was literally watching that game, man. I was like, oh, Army got this in the bag. It's like, oh, and I said the under gonna hit. I was like, okay.
That game was so wild too. Like there were 9,000 turnovers and all kinds of stuff going on, man. It was crazy.
Yeah. But I think that's it. Everything else again, AB is going to be who does or doesn't play. With that said, is that your key to how you kind of bet the bowl games? Who's playing, who's not?
Yeah. I mean, you just nailed it right there. Like, I kind of think of it like a checklist, man. Like what you're just saying. Head coach, what's the situation there? Starting quarterback, what's the situation there? On both teams, whatever. You just got to work yourself down, man. Because look, you're not going to be able to break down every single player that's opting out. Like, who's gonna know that and like intricately know it? For
same thing you just said, Ant, about that.
Yeah, the disappointment bowl, right? But yeah, like head coaches, quarterback, and then like you said, like going through of teams that actually do have a motivation, and like Tennessee again. Well, you'll have a motivated quarterback, dude, that's gonna be playing his last game. You know what I mean? Like, and Heupel's not gonna care. He'll let him call his own offense. You know what I mean? So like you're gonna have a lot of that. So when you're looking at it from a betting perspective, picking who wins might be impossible, but picking which games where there will be zero defense played and a lot of offense and no offense, you know what I mean? Yeah.
What Pinstripe Bowl, all those that's in the cold, it's definitely gonna be what you call it. Gary says, go Navy. I'm a Navy retiree. Shout out to the former seaman.
I appreciate you for your service, Mr.
The
Gary.
little Siemens.
Go Navy, beat Army. Sing set.
I can't even say that. I can't even rebut, and I'm done. So now, because this has come up, how do we face or deal with like next year coming up, or the future with the playoffs, bowl opt-outs and stuff like that? If you were in charge, AB, and so y'all can, how would you kind of, I guess, encourage players to continue to play, or how would you deal with the playoff situation?
You want to go first? Or you want me to?
Oh, I got my answer.
All right,
okay,
go. You go first. Let it rip.
So I expand to a 2014 playoff, and the top 24 teams in the country make the playoff. There's no automatic qualifiers for conference champions or none of that stuff. You want to get in, be a top 24 team. Then you have the first round of the playoff be played at some of the bowl sites, to where you get to keep the bowl sites. They get to make their money and all that kind of stuff. And then the other bowl games, you pay the players to play in the bowl game. That way there wouldn't be a bunch of opt-outs and all that kind of stuff. The schools get the money now, so just split some of that money with the players. And then I would not make it to where every 6 and 6 team goes bowling. Like I would drop the number of bowl eligible teams to where there's better teams playing in these bowl games, and it's not 5 and 7 Rutgers playing against 6 and 6 Pittsburgh or some shit. You know what I mean? Like it actually be the better teams that don't make the playoff. So yeah, expand the playoffs, play some of the first round at both sites, play the rest of the bowl games with the rest of the 7 and 5 teams or better that don't make the playoffs, and pay the players from those teams to where they play the incentivize them to play in the bowl games.
Yeah. That was you took one of mine. I'm paying. I'm having encouraging the sponsors to pay the players instead of doing some of the extra stuff. You pay the
Yeah.
players, so encourage them to play. I like the 2014 playoff because we see it works in the FCS. However, if we stay at 12, if we stay at 12, I'm almost getting rid of the automatic qualifiers there, and I may just do the top 12.
I'm cool with that.
I may
I'm cool.
just I
Or
may just do that.
if we do that, how about this? Since if we go to a 12-team playoff with no automatic qualifiers, you're essentially saying it's a Power Four only playoff.
Here, you know what? Here's what I might do to incentivize that. I might take because that's still an automatic thing. I was gonna say I might have a play in with like
The conference is what makes it tough. Like
yeah.
automatic quality. Look, and I was going to interrupt you, but like going off the same thing. Like mine is, what do we do with conference championship games? Because look, they make so much money that they're going to be here until they don't, or until they find a replacement.
In my system,
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
there's no conference championship week because you start the playoffs that week.
Mm.
I'm with you. Yeah. And not that I'm anti-conference championship, but we just got to figure out like what are we doing? Yeah. And you nailed it. Yeah. 100%. Yeah. Totally.
Yeah. I would love to see some kind of play in that kind of along those lines where you got some of these group of five teams taking on some of these low, but you still would it wouldn't matter because you still playing if you're a top 12 team playing a group 5, it's gonna be what we got right now, so that probably wouldn't matter. But
so just make a 12-team P4 and a 12-team G5.
I like it. I can do that. I like it. We can do that.
It's essentially still the 2014 method that I brought up.
That's true.
It's just 2 different brackets, and then you can still do it the same way. Have some first round at the bowl sites, or whatever the case may be, to keep the bowl sites.
Actually, if you're
and Myrtle Beach and Mobile and all these cities who rely on
I tell you what,
games,
I finna say with that, if you do that first, I would say the first round hosted at the small school at their stadium because to help boost that revenue. And then in the next round they can play kind of like it is now. You still play those other bowl games but if you play it at a school, you still can be sponsored. Matter of fact, you still sponsored by those people. You just move it around. Still, yeah. So you know what I'm saying. The sponsor moves with the school.
But the sponsor is not just tied to the bowl game; it's tied to that city. Like the Independence Bowl. Like let's say
I get
gonna be the Independence Bowl at Tulane. Like I don't like how does Shreveport benefit from that?
Yeah, it's a good point.
Yeah, you're right.
It's fat and that right. That's the interesting part of this conversation is that there really aren't great answers yet. You know, y'all have some of the best answers that I've heard. Like you'll see folks on ESPN coming to stuff where any of us are like, that's not gonna work at all. You know what I mean? Like we're in the wild west of it.
The suggestion that I hate, and it's one that I hear almost the most, is bowl games are gonna move to the first week of the season the following year, and that way, you don't got to worry about people opting out and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah, I hate that one.
I hate it because what makes
people that graduate don't get to play
season fun is from the first week of December until the middle of January, basically every day of the week, there's a football game on. If you move it to week 1, ain't nobody finna be watching Bowling Green versus, Western Kentucky because they're watching all the big games.
Yeah.
So you
Yeah. You're watching LSU. Yeah.
You have to do it at the end of the year where there's nothing else on TV. That's the only reason people watch these bowl games. Because if you do it week 1, people gonna watch three games. They're gonna watch the 11 o'clock game, the 3:30 game, and the 7 o'clock game. They're gonna watch the biggest one of those 3. They're not gonna be watching every bowl game that comes on week 1. It's not gonna work.
You're right. It would never work. And like, you're 1,000% right. And you brought up a point too when you were talking about like, how does it help, the like local economy? You know what I mean? In what we're seeing with bowl games now, and it's smart that a lot of them are going with the regional route of the teams that they select, like the Music City Bowl is going to be like, we'll take Tennessee every time, just because you have you're not going to guarantee a sellout, but you'll guarantee a lot of people that'll come just because they're fans, right? So you're definitely going to see the bowl games every time go, oh, we'll just take the regional. We'll take the regional. Like,
we'll see. And that's like, so the closest bowl to me is Independence and Shreveport.
Yeah.
And so like this year they got Louisiana Tech because you already know like that it's an hour drive from college.
Yep.
But that helps the bowl game because they sell tickets and they get attendance for the bowl game. But the city of Shreveport don't like that.
Yeah, no hotels.
Ain't nobody staying in the hotels. Ain't nobody.
Everybody lives here.
Yeah, everybody they driving to the game, driving back home. So you got to find that balance of having a team that's going to draw tickets, but also travel well enough to stay in hotels. Eat at restaurants, go shopping. All that kind of stuff.
It's a great point. You're exactly. It'll be the same thing in Nashville. It'll be a bunch of Tennessee fans that all live here. Like they'll sell parking like spots, and then that's it. Like 1,000% correct. Yep.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's it, fellas. That's all I got. Hey, I saw Matty Ice in here, and Matt. Thank you guys for coming through,
boys.
Some of the DTL crew coming through. Definitely appreciate y'all, man. But AB, before you go, please tell the people about DTL, when they can see you, and all the good things you got going on.
Yeah, definitely, man. I appreciate it. So at Driving the Line on YouTube, go check us out. We're daily, every day, 10 a.m. Eastern, 9 a.m. Central. Breaking down sports, best bets, picks, weather, apex predator, animals, all kinds of stuff. Come check us out, man. We have a ton of fun doing it. And the crew, like you said, which y'all are part of, and I'm very thankful for that and thankful for your friendship, getting to be able to come on here. The crew's the best of the game. I'm telling you, man, come for the crew alone. You will love them, man. They're the best.
All right. Man, I know that's going to be loud. I'll keep fighting with this mouse, so all you're going to hear on the audio is clank, 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 clank. But, man, I want to thank everybody for coming through. Definitely look forward. I don't know how many more, because next week I'll be in Houston. Take the show on the road. So we'll figure it out. But we'll definitely be back before the new year to kind of wrap things up. Figure out what we're gonna do for Christmas. I'm not Christmas. We'll recap the bowl game and look at how terrible my predictions were for the playoff bracket. See if I was a genius for picking Tulane.
Yeah, we're gonna find out. Like, this is gonna be a tough bracket, get busted quick, and you're like, oh, I'm done.
Yeah. See if I y'all gotta have me committed for thinking James Madison puts up a fight. All right. But thank everybody again. Let me get the theme music going. I want to thank everybody again for tuning in. We'll be back. When we come back. But like that, we are out.